Hi everybody, it's Chelley with Soft Spot Stamping. Coming to you today, I know you're seeing Christmas stuff here, and I'm so excited to share what I have with you today. I'm going to turn on one more light here real quick. This wonderful set just was released for pre-purchase before the holiday catalog starts in September, and I'm so excited to share with you. It's called the Carols of Christmas Bundle. And it is so fantastic. You can see I've got some cards here. I'm going to show those to you in a minute. But let me show you the stamp set. It's Carols of Christmas, and so you get all these cute little Peace on Earth, Deck the Halls, some little trims. I haven't played with the ornaments or the deer yet, so that's coming soon. And then along with that bundle, now you can buy just the stamps, or you can buy the bundle, or you can buy just the Thinlits. But here is the Thinlits. It's called Card Front Builder, and I'm so excited because this is stuff I'm going to use year round. I'll show you this border here, this here, and today I'm going to show you what I did with the trees. And like I said, I haven't played with the deer or the ornaments yet, so those are coming soon. Now, let me tell you this too. I take mine when these come in the folder. They come on a piece of paper with double-sided sticky tape on it, so they hold all of these framelits or Thinlits in place. I take mine off and put it on a little piece of magnet so that they just stay better to me. I like using them like that. All right, so let me show you some of the cards I've done. The first one that I did, very plain, very simple, Deck the Halls. This trim here is this Thinlit that I just ran through twice. One like that, and then one like that. And then I just used the stitched shapes framelits. Those are hard to say. See, stitched shaped framelits to cut this out. And then I stamped in cherry cobbler. Used the cherry cobbler paper and then stamped in cherry cobbler on the Deck the Halls on. Just very simple card. Used the ribbon here. The next one that I did was little fancier schmancier. I really like the silver glimmer paper, and the stars just needed silver glimmer paper. So again, I used the frame to cut those out, and then for the stars I used both of these to cut that. Now the very cool thing is those stars that are cut out, actually we can use again. They're in a little cup on my desk that I'm going to save and schnazz up. Who knows what I'm going to do. I might throw some glitter on them or something so that we can get that. Today's project, though, using still this set, is Peace on Earth, and I want to show you just how easy it can be to do it. I've done a couple of different things here, and I'm going to show you how easy it can be just to do it without some of the tools if you don't have all of the tools. So why don't we get started here real quick. Now, first things first, you can see here that there are, it looks like 2-color paper. We're going to do last week you saw me do some embossing. So this isn't embossing, but it's another trick that I could do with the embossing, and I thought about it after I had put this together. So let's take a look at what I did here so that we can put the trees on top. And this is going to happen if you don't have a Big Shot or the Thinlits that you would buy. So let me move my Big Shot over. Say hello to Mr. Big Shot. Okay, so what I did was I took a piece of, it could be scratch paper of any sort. So we're just going to, give me 1 second. I'm going to use an old piece of scrap paper. I'm going to lay my scrap paper down on top. And the reason I'm using scrap paper is because this isn't going anywhere. It's just going to kind of make a mask so I can put my trees onto the very vanilla cardstock. So I'm going to kind of do these close together. They don't have to be too close. And you know, trees in nature aren't perfect anyway, so I don't have to line them up all the way. And we're just going to roll this through the Big Shot. Again, one of my favorites. This is first reason I joined Stampin' Up! Was to get this at a discount and to get the discount, and now I want to help you get the discount. So come along and play. Oh my goodness, I just hit this selfie stick cord all the time. Okay, now see, I've got trees here that I could use too. These are older colors, so I'm not going to use them. I'm just going to put those to the side. Let me move the big shot for now. Luckily, he just sits a little around the corner. And now, on a piece of 5 3/3 Very Vanilla, I'm going to lay this down on top. And I want to try to get it as close to the bottom as I can. It doesn't matter. But I do want to kind of try to make sure I'm lining it up on that Very Vanilla. Then I'm going to take my garden green and I'm going to smush it. Smush, smush, smush. The reason I'm smushing it is I want to get the ink up in the lid. Okay, you'll see why. I'm going to take my aqua painter, and I have only used the garden green on it today, so it should be good to go. I did drop my ink pad earlier, and I had garden green ink everywhere. Then I'm just going to ink this up a little bit, and it's going to come out quite a lot, actually. So then I just started coloring in. And I want to try to make sure I get all of those. I noticed on one that I did earlier, I missed some of the tips, and it does kind of look a little funny. So as much as the tips that I can get in, it doesn't have to be perfect, guys. Mine is not going to be perfect. Nature's perfectly imperfect, so why not, right? Then I'm going to come over here and start this. Now, the thing I do want to say is you want to make sure that your paper doesn't flip up too much, because then you can get the ink under the paper, under what I'm using as the mask, and that might throw it off just a little bit. Again, not too much, because, oh, I just did it there. You'll see when I lift the paper exactly what I was just talking about. My aqua painter may be running out of water, and that means I need to refill it. But let's just see. And then I'm going to smudge it all along, just to kind of see what happens here, right? You see I've got a really dark spot there I was trying to smudge over. All right. Are we ready to see what happens? Awesome. Here we go. Yep. See what happened there is it smudged over. However, with what I'm going to do here in a minute, that's not really going to matter. So I'm going to leave this and use this as is. Now what I want to do, I'm going to let that dry a little bit. What I want to do now is two things. While I have my garden green stamp set open, I am going to take the Peace on Earth stamp, which is the large one, as you can see, and stamp it up. Stamp it up. So we're going to ink up my stamp here, and I'm just going to stamp it down on a scrap piece of Very Vanilla. And there you have Peace on Earth. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to take a piece of garden green and hold that thought. I had it right here with me. A small piece of garden green, and we're going to take the trees. Okay, now here's what I did the first time, and the reason I didn't do it this time is because I just had this scrap piece laying around. But if you do it, if you run your trees through one time on a garden green, you can use your garden green as the mask, and then you can use your garden green trees. I did not do that this time. It doesn't matter however you want to do it. It'll work both ways. You can just go back and run your trees through again. And here, it doesn't matter where I put them. I'm going to conserve some paper and try to put them towards the edge. So you can't see. So I tried to put them close to the edge so that I can conserve paper. So you can see there, bottom, side. Then we're going to run it through. And it doesn't have to line up in any way, shape, or form, because I'm just going to use the cutouts on this. There's one set of trees, and I should have another tree. There we go. I'm going to put my frameless back, and this I can reuse just as a scrap later, so we're going to put that off to the side. While I've got this, and I've got my Peace on Earth stamp here, I'm going to use the, try this again, Stitched Shapes framelits. Thinlits, framelits. Okay. Now what I did is I laid it a little crooked so that I could still get the entire words in, but I want it just kind of, I don't want it straight on. I wanted it a little sideways. So then I'm just going to run it through while we have this here. Now, the reason I wanted to show you what I did with the trees using the mask, if you don't have a big shot and you don't have the framelits, all of this can be done just stamping on a piece of very vanilla cardstock. It would be so easy. If you can imagine just stamping this onto here, and then we're going to tie some ribbon, and you're going to put some adhesive on it and put it onto 2 different pieces of paper. So easy, so easy. You don't need the framelits or the big shot. Do I love my framelits and big shot? Absolutely. So I'd highly encourage you to think about getting it, but it's not required. Okay, so the next thing is I've got the regular piece of cardstock that we're going to use as our base. Then I've got a piece of 5 1/4 inch by 4 1/4 inch terry cobbler that we're going to use as on top of the base. And you can see here, if you can see, there's a little smudge of the garden green that I got on earlier. That's okay, because we're not going to use it. Now for this, I'm going to actually just use the Tombow multi-purpose glue. You can use Fast Fuse, you can use Snail if you have them. That's great. I should be getting some more this week, so I'm just going to lay this down and adhere it onto the cherry cobbler. Okay, that's what I was saying. If you stamp this onto there without the framelit and you just tied some ribbon on it, you could snazzy this up and it would look fabulous. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is use my trees. And here's where, this is why I said it doesn't really, what you do with your trees, how you place them, it really is kind of just up to you. Okay, so you can place them off and put them there. And I wanted some dimension to it. So you can see it looks like trees in the background, shadows. I'm just going to pop up, use the dimensionals, and pop my trees up a little bit. Oh my goodness, I've been doing so well getting the backings off all day. And now this. Okay, so I'm going to just place those off a little here. Then I'm going to put one here. See, it looks like we have a little forest going on. Now, trees in the middle of a forest in the wintertime need a little glimmer, right? What happens to those trees in the wintertime? Oh, we get some snow. Ladies and gentlemen, wink of Stella. So I'm going to wink of Stella on my trees. Just add a little bit of, and you may not be able to see it at all on the video. I'll try to hold it up. But in person, you can see it's really got some cool little sheen to it. Now, the reason I was saying, oh no, might need to order some Wink of Stella here. The other thing that I was thinking too is when I last week when I used the embossing paste, that same mask that I used for the trees right here, think about this. Take some embossing paste, mix up some garden green, re-inker with it. Maybe you can see a little bit. Yeah, there you go. A little bit of the glimmer. Mix up some re-inker with it, and voila, you could really pop those trees. So, yeah, no, I've said that. I might have to try it. 1 second, I did not grab the ribbon. And for this, I'm using, it's in the All Occasions catalog, the big catalog. I'm using the ribbon with gold. Now, we do have the ribbon with silver too, and I thought that might work too, but I'm using, it's the 1/8 inch ribbon. Nope, sorry, it is not. It is the blah 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 natural trim with gold. So it's this product right here, and I was going to use this in the silver, but I thought the gold really popped a little more. So now, you guys know me, I am not the best bow tire, So I'm going to try to conserve some ribbon here. I cut a little much so I can make sure I tied a good bow. And we're going to loop it. And I'm going to loop it. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. I think today, well, kind of did it, huh? There's my bow. Okay. So then we're going to cut the trim off a little bit. Trim it a little bit there, and then there we have our bow. You can make the bow as big. This one looks a little bigger than the first one, but you know what? That's okay. Now, for this, I wanted to pop the piece on earth up too, so we're going to use the dimensionals on that. Little trick, and it works so well. When you put your dimensional down to get that sticky, the one that's not sticky off, if you crease it with your fingernail, it'll pop right off. I always try to unsticky it first, and it never works. So here I'm just going to place it, and I'm going to move the bow down a little bit. Then I'm going to place it, and see how it just makes that natural curve there, and maybe tuck that under just a bit. It doesn't have to go very far under, but and it won't go very far because the pop dot's there. So there you go with that. And then I'm going to pop again to the back. I am so excited, guys. On September 1st, our holiday catalog goes live, and you guys will be able to order. We get to pre-order, so one of the cool things about being a demonstrator is we get to pre-order stuff. And I have to tell you that this is probably one of the best minis I've seen, one of the best holiday catalogs I've seen in my 7 years with Stampin' Up. So yeah, the wallet's kind of going crazy, but as you can imagine, it's just going to be so much fun sharing with you guys all the stuff that we've got going on. There you have it, Peace on Earth, little foresty looking scene here, complete with a little bit of what looks like ice or snow on top. Then Deck the Halls and Peace on Earth, all using the Carols of Christmas bundle that is available for you to purchase now. You can purchase the stamps, the Thinlits, or the combination. Guys, it's been great chatting with you tonight. I hope you've enjoyed this project. I'll post the tutorial and some pictures of the cards for you to look at. Again, Soft Spot Stamping, Chelley Pratt. Check out my blog weekly. I try to post at least weekly. I'm getting better at it, and hopefully soon we'll have more postings for you. And then check out my Facebook page too. Follow me on YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, all of that good stuff, so you can see projects all the time. Thanks everybody. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.